Yeah, simply put, just want to impart a little bit of wisdom on you guys today. Yoda, go ahead on and like, share, subscribe to my channel. Leave in the comments in the comment section below. Your comments will be greatly appreciated. Today, I want to talk about modern women and why they don't want to go on coffee dates or why they don't want to go on simple dates to get to know a man. On my channel, I called it Simply Put because if you really look at things from a simple perspective, if you look at things are not that difficult. Things are not that difficult to see. You have a lot of people out here, they try to make things like really more than what they are. There are some complex things going on in the world. It's some real deep stuff going on. But a lot of times when we talking about relationships between men and women, when we're talking about modern women, when we talk about men's issues, when we talk about these things, it's really not that deep. It's really not that complicated. There are a lot of modern women out here, and they always have all these rules and all of these requirements for men. They want you to do all these different things. They tell you what they're not gonna do. They tell you what they require. It's a whole long list of things, and it's just a lot. But it's not that complicated to see. If you just look back and talk to somebody, you can get to know them and you can understand who they are and what they are about. A lot of times men kind of get their judgment cloudy because they're looking for one thing in a woman. But for men, my advice to you is to just get to know people. Be friendly to people, be respectful to people. I would never tell someone to be rude. I would never tell anyone to be disrespectful to somebody. You have to be respectful to people. I will tell you to leave them in the dust if you see, a lot of red flags and you see these things that's going on. I'm telling you to leave them in the dust, leave them alone. I ain't telling you to be disrespectful or rude to anybody. But the reason why women don't want to go on simple dates, simple coffee dates, like on the first date to get to know someone is because first off, they're really not interested in you. If you're required to do all these extra extravagant things, they're really not into you. And if you can't go on like a simple date, like maybe a ice cream date, a coffee date, or a date that is like something simple where you're talking and where you're getting to know each other, she's really not interested in you at all. She's really she first off, she's not interested in you. Second of all, she really doesn't want you to be in a position to where you are talking and getting to know each other, because she knows her ideals are really not up to par. She's afraid she's gonna say something, and she will say something that will kind of draw some red flags. She's just trying to cover herself. Because if she's on a big extravagant date and it's a whole lot of stuff going on and you're not really focused on each other and just talking, she can kind of hide some of her expectations from you. And also she wants to put an expectation on you as well, to where you have to do all these extravagant things for her. And a lot of times these women who are telling men that you have to spend all this money on a date, you have to spend all this money, you have to do all this extra stuff, she's not getting it anyway. Nobody's really doing that for her. Nobody's taking her on trips on the first date. Nobody's flying her out on the first date. Nobody's doing all of this stuff. So she wants to have that expectation of everything has to be fancy all the time. Now, if you get a woman who really wants to get to know you, you get a woman, and I've been with women who just want to be around you and just want to talk to you and want to get to know, really want to get to know you. If you're around a woman who likes you, who actually is interested with you, it really doesn't matter what you guys do, because that person is interested in getting to know you, and there's nothing wrong with that. But if you get a modern woman, or you get a woman out here who's telling you you have to do all of these different things, and you have to take me to the fanciest restaurant in town and spend all this money. She wants to, first off, she doesn't like you. Second off, she wants to set a certain expectation where you have to spend all this money on her all the time. And if you do it the first date, she's gonna want to continue on that path of you spending money. Then you always have to up yourself. You always have to do more and do more. Eventually, she'll be asking you to pay for her rent. She'll ask you to be paying her car note and all this extra stuff, because you set a precedent where she's so expensive, and on top of all that, she can't afford to do the stuff for herself. And they always say, "Well, I can do it. I can do it for myself. I can do this and I can do that." But she doesn't go to fancy restaurants on a daily basis. She goes and eats regular food. She goes to regular places and eats. But when it comes to you, you have to do all these, lavish things for her. And then on top of all that, she has a guy in her life that a lot of times they'll have a guy in their life who's not doing anything for them, that comes around, sleeps with them whenever they want, and doesn't do anything. And they don't hold that standard to everybody. Now it's a difference. Now if that woman holds a standard for everybody, like everybody, you have to do this. But modern women, they don't do that. If they find a guy who they're really interested in, and they're really attracted to that guy, and they really want to be around that guy, they humble themselves, and all the rules and all the stipulations and all this mandate stuff, it goes right out the window, and that person doesn't have to do anything. I'm not saying I'm all that, but I've been with women who just want to hang out. Well, let's just go somewhere and walk. Let's go to the park and walk. Let's go simple stuff. And when you can do something, and in a relationship, when you're with somebody, you want to be able to have good conversation. You want to be able to enjoy each other's company in any situation. For men, I know we want to enjoy your company in any situation. We want to be able to enjoy your company just, around the house. We want to be able to enjoy your company when we go out, like something simple, maybe going walking somewhere. We want to be able to enjoy your company. We want to be, we want to have a pleasant experience in a relationship with you. But if you get a woman it always has to be something extra. Always have to be something extravagant. It always have to be something where you're spending money on her, or it always have to be something you're doing for her all the time. That's a red flag. And you already know what I'm gonna tell you. leave women like that in the dust. And then they'll turn around and they'll be complaining that men are not doing that for them. You notice they are complaining about this. They're talking about this stuff in social media. A man needs to do, because men are not doing it. She doesn't have a man doing it. And if she can get a sucker to come along and do that stuff, she just gonna use him up for his money, his attention, and all of that. And it's not gonna go anywhere. So that's basically the reason why women, they don't want simple dates. They don't want to get exposed, and they want to, set a mandate to where you're spending all your money on. It's not that deep. It's not that deep at all. Just want to impart a little bit of wisdom on you guys today. Yo, go ahead on and like, share, subscribe to my channel. Leave in the comments in the comment section below. Your comments will be greatly appreciated. And like I always say, love you guys millions, and I'll talk to you later. Global.